Kick your feet up. This is just Casual Sports Podcast, episode 39. I'm your host, Garnett Punter II, and today we have a two-man show going on, a pick and roll. You know, there's three things certain in life: death, taxes, and the Just Casual Sports Podcast dropping on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So, alongside me, I have Mike Curry. It's looking like a Curry in a Pot episode.
I was about to say that.
But I'm the host this time.
It's definitely given that, man. But, we got the natural two-man chemistry. Me, you, Omatic, and whatnot. And, of course, all the virtual pods. But, yeah, man, it's just us tonight, man. But we're gonna do it, man. We're going to get it going, bro. We got Jack, man. We got it, man.
We got Jack. We got it. But no, got a couple things to talk about today.
A lot.
Obviously, this is Wild Card Weekend. We have the college football playoff going on right now. We had a surprise firing that came out after all the other firings happened. But I kind of want to start with basketball, just so we don't bounce back and forth between the sports.
Yeah.
We had a trade in the association.
We did.
Trae Young is now in D.C. He was traded here for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. And I got Kenny's live reaction to it because we were both working at Wendy's at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He said, whoa. Oh, we traded Kispert. I swear that's exactly what he said. I said, the Trae Young trade official? He said, yeah. I said, y'all give him any draft picks? He said, nah. But we traded Kispert, though. I'm like, bro, it's cool that y'all traded Kispert, bro. Like, somebody's going to have to be a part of the deal. They said the Hawks wanted a first-round pick for Trae Young. The Wizards wasn't budging. The Wizards wanted a pick back to take on Trae Young. The Hawks wasn't budging. Somehow the middle ground was Corey Kispert.
Which is, it's kind of wild, but, I feel like any team could use a guy like Corey Kispert, though.
Yeah. We could talk about it from the Hawks' perspective first. Obviously, the Trae Young stuff wasn't working. 2-8 with him this year as a starter, as just playing. He's only played 10 games this season. They look better without him. Mm-hmm. It kind of seems like it was just the end of an era. And obviously, you would hope to get more back than an expiring deal in Corey Kispert, but that's just kind of the business of the association right now. I mean, John Morant is apparently looking to get traded now, and I'm seeing a lot more teams interested in John Morant than I am Trae Young. We could get to that in a second, but I just think, it's just something that kind of had to happen. And it wasn't many potential suitors for Trae Young. Yeah, we obviously saw that the Wizards were a suitor. We talked about it on the podcast. The next day, the man got traded. It was a very quick process, but, what other team would even take on Trae Young? And it's not even to say Trae Young's a bad player. He just has significant deficiencies in his game.
I don't even know, honestly. I don't even remember the other teams that were interested.
It wasn't any.
It wasn't?
Trae Young apparently wanted to go.
What teams was he interested in?
He wanted to go to Minnesota.
I
don't think Minnesota would, because Minnesota, the contracts would have to be like Nas Reed or like Rudy Gobert or somebody like that. And it's like, why even
Yeah, they're not trying to do that.
It was Minnesota, Washington, and I feel like it was a third team. I just cannot remember the third team.
I don't remember either. But
it was Brooklyn. That's what it was. It was Brooklyn. Which would just kind of been the same thing as. But do the Hawks want to take back Michael Porter Jr.'s contract?
Michael Porter Jr. is actually a positive asset right now.
He is.
So, maybe. You got teams.
Would that have been too much?
Yeah, for the Nets, they probably would have said, nah, that's too much. This is our best asset right now.
Yeah, because it would have been, Trae Young and Cam Thomas?
Yeah, nah. Yeah, that's nasty. But, it's an instant trade. I like it more so for the Wizards, just from the standpoint of, at the end of the day, it's still Trae Young. And you're getting a player who I still think is a good player, and you're getting a good player at his lowest value. C.J. McCollum, a guy who you were looking to move anyways.
He might have got bought out.
Yeah, or bought out. You were looking to get off of him anyways. Corey Kispert, I like Kispert, but kind of, doesn't really fit the direction.
I was watching somebody talking. They was like, he's playing 18 minutes on a rebuilding team.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for him to, get a new change of scenery and whatnot, but I really like it for the Wizards, man. I think it works because, we've always talked about how, the Hawks, they don't have a rim protector. Alex Sarr, that's one of his strengths. You also got good defenders like Koulibaly. Keyshawn George can play some defense.
You didn't have to give up any young players.
You
didn't even have to give up A.J. Johnson.
A.J. Johnson, yeah. So, I like it from that point. They basically retained the assets that they wanted to keep. And when you do that, I think that's a positive. I think that's a good trade, man.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
And this might be a little bit of a crazy question because I know how much the city loves John Wall dearly. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's ever a chance that Trae Young takes over the mantle as like the best point guard to ever play for the Wizards.
I mean, you can argue that it was Russell Westbrook.
You could definitely argue it, but I don't think anybody that
Yeah, no,
is
John,
from here
John
do-
Wall is
yeah.
just synonymous with DC. Trae Young is gonna have to at least get the Wizards into a couple of playoff runs, maybe like an Eastern Conference Finals appearance for. But I don't think the city never gonna forget John Wall. It's mad love. So, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, man.
So, do you think Trae Young could peak higher as a Wizard than Gilbert Arenas?
Gilbert Arenas, man? I mean, you asking me like, cause I saw Gilbert Arenas' prime. I mean, they had like a couple of second round appearances. So I mean, I guess if you get further than that, then yeah, we're having a different
I'm
conversation.
gonna say because you can't get higher than Gil. I don't even think you could even touch John Wall, especially in this city.
Yeah, nah, for
Not,
sure.
I'm not saying like as a player. I think. I'm gonna leave it at that. Because it's weird to talk about Trae Young versus John Wall all the time because Trae Young's career is not over, but Trae Young's seen the conference finals.
Yeah, he has.
Like, as the best player on his team, like the clear cut best player on his team. For the Wizards, I guess I didn't get my thoughts. It was a good trade.
Yeah.
Cool little trade. I mean, like you said, you're getting a really good player at his lowest value. This is like the best possible thing you could happen for the Wizards because at some point you had to consolidate.
Yeah.
At some point you had to consolidate, and you didn't even have to consolidate for this trade. Who knows? Maybe a guy's available this offseason. Maybe a guy's available during the season. We truly don't know with the NBA no more. I mean, Luka got traded at midnight one night.
Yeah.
Who knows who's available? Obviously, you don't push your chips all in on the table right now. You still have a pick that's top 8 protected from the New York Knicks that you're trying to retain. But who knows this offseason? Who knows who could become available? It could be some forward available, and you're like, maybe Bilal, and I guess Chris Middleton's a free agent this offseason, but like you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You put some contracts with Bilal Coulibaly, and all of a sudden, maybe this team's looking a little decent next year with Trae Young, Keyshawn, Trey Johnson, Alex Sarr, and then some forward type of player. Like I don't even know who would be available right now, but you understand what I'm trying to say. I think this is a positive move for the Washington Wizards, and I feel like that's how all Wizards fans view this as because they haven't had a player as good as Trae Young in a minute. I know people are gonna say Bradley Beal,
Russell
Westbrook, but
that was just for a year though.
Yeah. And you're at least going to have Trae Young for 2, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's no way Trae Young doesn't take his player option.
Right.
I know they're not talking about contract extension right now. I think that's because they kind of want to see what next year looks like.
Yeah.
Because this isn't, in my opinion, like a Brandon Ingram situation where it's like, Brandon Ingram's a good player. You don't know how Trae Young's going to fit with this team. I feel like Brandon Ingram's a real portable player.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think Trae Young is that portable. I think it's weird because the Hawks have been building around Trae Young forever. I just don't want to see the Wizards like build around. I want the Wizards to continue doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But just have Trae Young. I want them to build with him rather than
build with
around
him and not around him. No, I agree with that. I did want to say before we get off of this, I hope those young players soaked up a lot of game from CJ McCollum, because he's a professional and he's been in some playoff wars and stuff like that.
If you want a good laugh, look at the Instagram post the Wizards made. Thank you to CJ McCollum. Look at the comments.
All right, bet. I'm gonna check that out. But and it's crazy because I watched Club 520, watched the clips, and he was talking about all the young players, how they really want it, and they're always in the gym and stuff like that. So clearly they got good habits already, but it's good that they asked C.J. McCollum questions and soaked up some game because, like I said, he's a professional, man. Scored a lot of buckets in this league, and I just don't like what Brad did with the CBA, but a very, very good player, good scorer, man. So.
And that man really said after Luka got traded, at this point it could be anybody. He got traded to the Wizards like a couple weeks later. They got traded again. Bro, this man's just getting tossed around the league. But from the Hawks' perspective, at least, CJ McCollum is still a positive player.
Yeah, no, he's still.
I think he's gonna impact winning there, and. He's on a 1-year deal. You could go out this offseason and sign somebody potentially. I know they were looking at Anthony Davis before his injury. Unfortunately, I heard he might miss the rest of the season.
Yeah, I saw that.
But
I feel like C.J. McCollum going back to the Blazers next year.
Him and Dame both over
Dame
there.
Just going to give it one more little last hurrah type of deal.
I can't even imagine that. Like, that's funny.
Nah, it is funny. But for the Hawks though, I mean, it's cool. Like. Clearly, you view Jalen Johnson as your guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I'm interested to see how they build around him going forward.
the Memphis Grizzlies came out and said they're willing to trade John Morant. They're willing to listen to offers now. And you saying build around Jalen Johnson just reminds me of Shams' tweet because it literally said the team's preparing to build around Jaren Jackson Jr. That sentence, just when I read it, I had to read it twice because I'm like, hearing the term build around Jaren Jackson Jr.
It does not sound
just
right.
doesn't sound right. And with all respect to Jaren Jackson Jr., he's a former Defense Player of the Year.
Oh, man. Indiana about to score again.
Hey, man, they about to win a natty, bro. They're about to win a natty. But it's just no, like, I don't know. Like, you trade John Morant and then what?
I don't know.
Because they're saying they're looking for young assets. I think John Morant is, like, less valuable than Trae Young.
Yeah.
In some sort of ways.
Especially with the off-the-court stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to him, having his own injury history. I just don't know what a package for John Morant looks like.
The Bucks package was like, because the Bucks are interested.
Kuzma,
it was like Kyle Kuzma, Ryan Rollins.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel kind of upset about trading Ryan Rollins. I think he's a really positive asset.
Kuzma, Ryan Rollins, their 2031 first. And it was another contract. It was not Bobby Portis, but it was somebody else.
Yeah, Mendoza's a Raider, bro. My bad, though.
Now I saw they were interested. I saw the Timberwolves may potentially be interested.
I don't know what that package looks like either.
I don't know either because he just makes so much damn money. And the other team I saw that was linked to him was the Clippers.
I don't know what that package looks like.
I don't know if a team with John Morant and James Harden would even work.
That don't sound good.
And I can't imagine John Morant and Kawhi Leonard on the same team as well.
That just don't sound like a good mix, man. What is John Morant? Like, where?
This man was number one on the MVP ladder like 2 years ago. Like 2022-2023 season. I guess it's 3 years ago now.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
I don't know what the Grizzlies do. Because it's like, obviously Ja doesn't want to be there. I think that's why a report is coming out. But I don't know many teams that will want him. Especially for how much money he makes. Like, I feel like that's literally the biggest part of it. Yeah. Like, if he was on, like, a cheaper deal, obviously I think teams would be chomping at the bit for him. Because it's a similar thing to Trae Young. I don't think they're going to get multiple draft picks for him like they want to. Or they're talking about young assets or draft picks. How are you going to prioritize that when you're not going to get that?
Yeah.
I feel like anytime we see a name, we throw Miami in the sweepstakes. But, like...
Bro, the Heat just seems so unfazed about making a trade.
Wiggins,
like a trade for like a star player. They just seem so unmoved by it.
Wiggins and Jovic.
I was thinking the Heat.
That's Ja, Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Bam. It sounds nice. It sounds nice. Now that backcourt, those three guys that I just said are not playing no damn defense. But
hell no.
You know how we used to be playing with the Thunder and guard up, just be sending them in to Chet. That's what they would have to do defensively. They ain't playing no damn defense. I like John Morant's fall off needs to be studied.
Oh no, it definitely needs to be studied.
This man was probably like, if we talked after the 2023 season, he probably would have been in like everybody's top 15.
Yeah, most definitely.
Players in the sport, period. Because even when Kenny said the whole, now Jaw's available now after we traded for Trae, I'm like, I think I might rather have Trae Young on my team.
I don't even know. I think it's just personal preference.
I think I'd rather have Trae Young on the team just because of off the court stuff.
That's real.
And I also think Trae Young is also a better basketball player right now than John Morant.
And he can shoot.
That's a big portion. Because, John Morant with John Morant with his only floor space being Trey Johnson sounds nasty as hell.
Nah, it does.
That does not sound too good. Had a college football game last night.
Yeah.
A real good one, actually. It was a decent game. William had $1 on Miami, so he was cheering for Miami.
What?
Yeah. He said he was going to put 20 on them.
What?
Miami beat Miami beat Ole Miss 31-27. Carson Beck, 23-37, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Their leading running back was Mark Fletcher. And Keelan Marion, 7 grabs for $114 and a touchdown. On the other side, Trinidad Chambliss, 23-37, 277 yards and a touchdown. Kawan Lacey, 11 carries for 103 yards and a touchdown. Have you seen his full season stats?
Mm-mm.
He'll be eligible for the draft next year. This year, 306 carries for 1,567 yards and 24 touchdowns.
Goodness.
I saw a lot of draft scouts on Twitter say he's probably early RB1.
Next year?
Yeah. I don't do scouting like for an extra year,
Yeah, not that
but
early.
like he looked pretty nice.
Nah, I was gonna say he looks impressive.
But the 2027 class, I hear a lot about it, like because you got Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
I'm now seeing Kawan Lacey, Julian Sands in
Ryan
that
Williams,
class.
even though
Arch
he fell
Williams,
off.
yeah. Arch Man is in that class.
Yeah.
It should be a fun
It got
one.
some names.
The way Arch Man played down the stretch, I might think he might have been QB1 in this class if he declared.
He did play really good late in the season.
But obviously he hasn't declared yet. And then Daquan Wright was their leading receiver. Their tight end, 3 grabs for 64 yards and a touchdown. He might not have been the leading receiver. I think he just had a touchdown. Yeah, well, it wasn't their leading receiver. But it was funny watching that game. He was like, "Oh, that's Mo Alley Cox out there," because he was a tight end with dreads, and he was wide open, but he just kept getting open. He got all 3 catches on one drive, and it was their drive to go up 27-24. But
Mo Alley Cox.
shout out, bro. Miami looked like, and I forgot who said this, but Miami looked like the SEC football team out there yesterday.
No, they've been looking like that pretty much all year.
I wonder if Cam Ward was thinking, where was this defense at when he was there?
No, I'm sure he was. Because I think he's better than Carson Beck.
You
I'm
think?
sure many would agree.
You think?
I'm just saying.
Nah, I might know.
Nah, I think we all know, but
That man Carson Beck, this is 7th year in college, they said.
hey, he always gets to this point of the season. Seems to do that.
He's a winner.
On the college level, yeah.
he's
On the college level.
he's certainly a player. I will say that. But it's not much more to say about Miami. I mean, Malachi Tony looked good. I mean, he looked like the best freshman
Yeah,
receiver in the
he's
country.
cooking. He's a bucket.
You know his dad's name is Antonio Brown? It's not obviously not the same Antonio Brown, but I that actually might not be true. I saw somebody say it on Twitter. That might not be true, but that's what they said on Twitter, so I'm just say that. Shout out Miami though. They look good. I think Ole Miss had a chance at the end. I think it was a questionable no call on the pass interference on the Hail Mary, but at the end of the day, I always say it like this. There's about 70 to 80 other plays in the game. First of all, how many rushing attempts did Miami have in this game before I even say this?
51.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was about to say they had north of 50 rushing attempts. You have all these other plays in the game. You cannot let the refs decide one play and you say that's the reason why we lost the game.
Yeah,
that's always how I feel about anything. That's at the college level. That's at the NFL level. Because we see that happen a lot at the NFL level too. But
for sure.
it's so many plays in the game where you can't do like that. And like I said, Miami was just a more physical football team. And I feel like that showed from the moment the game started to the moment the game ended. Like, even when Ole Miss would have the scoring drives in the first half, they were like lightning in a bottle type drives. Like, Kawan Lacey had that long run. You saw, like, long pat, like the 2-minute drill to kick a field goal before halftime. It was a quick drive. It wasn't really sustainable football. And I feel like the sustainable football team won at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But, yeah, do they have a chance against Indiana and the Natty? I'm saying that game.
I mean, Indiana to me has been the team to beat all season as far as I'm concerned. So, but it should be. It should. I mean, I guess we can say it should be a hell of a game. But I lean with Indiana though.
I don't want to know
Big
what.
10 do it again.
I don't know what Michael Irvin. I don't want to know what Michael Irvin would do if they win this game on next Monday. I don't want to know what he would do.
Get in some snow. Get in some snow.
Nah, did you see? You saw how close he was to that referee on that final play. They said a knife was going to that referee's neck if Michael Irvin saw the flag come out.
Hey, chill out. Bro.
Oh my God!
Chill
But
out.
no, he was just screaming. Like, I'm like the ref. I know he hears him screaming in his ear. Shout out Michael Irvin though. Shout out 88, man.
88, man.
Shout out 88. This is so random, but I was talking to my sister about retired numbers in the NFL today, and the Cowboys don't retire numbers. I don't think NFL teams should retire numbers. I think Ring of Honors are due for the NFL.
Yeah, no, you got to do Ring of Honor.
Just because
there's so many players.
Yeah, because eventually, some franchise is gonna run out of numbers to give players.
Yeah.
Some franchise is gonna run out of numbers to give players. Because I know the Giants retire numbers because that's why
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, and Abdul Carter was trying to get Phil Simms' number to come out of retirement and stuff like that. Phil Simms was okay with it, but his family was like, hell no. Yeah. But I think they should do Ring of Honors because Michael Irvin talked about it. He said he wouldn't even want his jersey retired because he said when you see CD Lamb out there and he draws a pass, you're gonna say Michael Irvin would have caught that ball. Like the
Yeah.
real 88 would have caught that ball. So he said he don't even want his jersey retired. Do you think they should retire numbers in the NFL?
I just think it depends on a certain player.
Okay.
Like maybe like Tom Brady. Like maybe Chiefs probably retire 15. Like a certain player. Like it's only reserved for like an elite. Like I don't even say elite. I just want to say like exclusive.
Like something more
Player.
exclusive than a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, because I mean like Tom Brady is arguably the GOAT. Like of course, like yeah, let's retire that.
Like
But,
Randy Moss would get his jersey retired. Reggie White.
yeah, I could see like what the Packers doing it. Like yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, no, I just reserved for a special player, bro.
Deion Sanders. By about 7 different teams.
Yeah,
No, what if Deion Sanders? What if Deion Sanders in the Commanders Ring of Honor?
Bro didn't even play long enough. And he wore like, nah, hell no. That'd have been nasty.
Hey man, we have some playoff football on tomorrow.
You got playoff football.
We have some playoff football on tomorrow. I'm not talking college football playoffs.
Yeah, we talking a real deal.
We talking
Pro football.
NFL pro football playoffs. They start tomorrow. Start in Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina, where they haven't hosted a playoff game since Cam Newton was there back up. It's like 10 years ago, actually.
Yeah.
It was actually 10 years ago. It's been a decade, and they welcome the Rams in, who they beat early in the season, but they're 10.5-point underdogs. Rams coming in 11-6. Carolina's 8-9. On the Rams side, Kevin Dotson, that's a big injury. He's out for this game. Rob Havenstein's obviously been out. He's out for this game. Terrence Ferguson is questionable. On the other side, Panthers got no players on the injury report. Robert Hunt is expected to return this week. That's a big pickup.
Big boost, yeah.
That's a big pickup, even for a team that didn't have him earlier in the season. You want to know an interesting stat? Matthew Stafford has never won his career in Carolina. Now, when he's with Detroit, obviously the only time he played in Carolina with the Rams was a couple weeks ago.
Damn.
He's never won in Carolina. Does that come to an end?
Yeah, it does, bro. I'm going to take the Rams. I feel like it sounds cliche as hell, but like if they stop the run or if they can contain the Panthers' run game, because that's really what got them going last time. But I know the Rams have struggled against the run this season.
But the Panthers have not been able to run the ball as of late.
As of late, they haven't.
I will say that in the first game, the Panthers won on all the swing plays, like all the momentum plays. They were perfect on fourth down. They got they
played a damn near flawless game.
They got a pick six and then a tipped interception in the red zone. Obviously, had the other fumble on Matthew Stafford as well. I will say, I think the Panthers are going to be able to get pressure in this game. I think the Rams' offensive line has been very leaky.
Yeah.
But at some point, I don't think it's going to matter. Because, like I said, they hit on every single one
they really did.
Of the swing plays in the game. And, like, you got to think at least one of them would go the Rams' way this time. And if one of them went the Rams' way the last time, they don't get upset. Like I said, I understand the Matthew Stafford stuff. I just don't think they lose in the first round. I can't see them losing as double-digit point favorites in the first round of the playoffs against an 8 and 9 team.
No, it'd be devastating. Especially considering how the Rams backpedaled into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They were. I mean, I think many of us thought they were going to be the 1 seed for sure. And the playoffs was going to run through SoFi.
I think everybody thought that when it was they were up 2 possessions against the Seattle Seahawks, like right before they punted to Rashid Shaheed. Everybody still thought the Rams were going to run the conference.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, it's an extra game now. You gotta, do it on the road. But I think
you might have to do it on the road 3 times in a row now.
I think if there's any team that could win on the road, it would be the Rams. But I'm not gonna say I don't want to say Carolina not no slouch because obviously you lost to them. But you gotta take care of business, man. You gotta start the run here, man.
There's a reason this game is the first game of the weekend.
Yeah, that's funny.
There's a reason this game is the first game of the weekend.
Glad this joint ain't on no prime time, man.
No, because normally, you know what they normally do? It's normally the Houston Invitational week on the first game of the weekend.
Yeah.
If Houston's at home, they're playing the first game of the weekend.
That's a fact.
Even when they have a good matchup, they'll play the first game of the weekend. But they're on the road this week, so they had to take the back burner. And also, the other scheduling quirk about the NFL playoffs is it has to be a 4-5 matchup in the Monday night slot for scheduling purposes for the following week.
Yeah.
So their choices was between this game and Houston and Pittsburgh. I think they made the right choice. Even though I think both games are going to suck, I still think they make the right choice.
Yeah, no, I agree. I ain't trying to see the Panthers on Monday night, bro.
Yeah, nah. You know, well, I guess technically it wasn't. I'm about to say, Baker Mayfield is like he only has one primetime win in his career, and it was against the Steelers on the primetime in the playoffs.
Damn,
He's like 1-9 or 1-10 or something on primetime.
that's interesting.
But yeah, Carolina, it's been a great season, man. Like
Yeah, I mean, we had them winning the division, so
only two.
in my eyes, they still had a successful season, even
Yeah.
though they were under 500. But
I think even if they missed the playoffs, I would still consider this season a
yeah, same.
success.
No, if they wouldn't have made the playoffs and the Saints would have beat the Falcons, I would have been like, okay, Carolina, you still had a good year.
It's just a stepping stone.
Yeah,
The worst part about Carolina is this is the time where they win games, though.
weirdly
When
enough,
nobody picks them.
but I ain't picking them. So.
You just not going. Like I said, you're not going to
Yeah.
catch me picking them.
Yeah, hell no. No
This-
disrespect.
The second game, and dare I say this is the best game of the weekend? Bears Packers.
I don't know. I think this one and Bills Jaguars. Are
Okay.
the two
I
best.
see the line changed on Bills Jaguars. Hold on, I'll get to that later.
It did change.
I'll get to that later. Packers are 1.5 point favorites in Chicago as the 7th seed on the road. Javon Bullard is questionable for this one. And everybody else they had on IR is like still on IR. Zach Tom's also questionable for this one. Dontavian Wicks is out with a concussion. Malik Willis is questionable, but Jordan Love is off the injury report. He's good to go for this one. On the other side, Kyler Gordon is expected to return in this game. That's going to be a big pickup for Chicago. In the regular season, between the Bears and the Packers, both home teams won.
Yeah.
Do you see that trend continuing? Are you rocking with the Bears?
Nah, I'm actually leaning Packers, bro. I think they have more experience. Obviously, the Bears haven't been here in quite some time.
But dare I say, is experience overrated? Because we just saw the Commanders walk to the NFC Championship game.
Yes and no.
And those were against two teams that
situation.
have both been in the playoffs.
I think it
multiple
depends on the
times.
situation. This is Ben Johnson's first time as a head coach, in this spot. At least with the Commanders, Dan Quinn had already been in that spot, as a head coach. Obviously, Dan Quinn was in the Super Bowl, up 20-3. But
That's also something else that happened 10 years ago, bro. We need to stop bringing that up.
but I don't know, bro. I just got a feeling about the Packers, bro.
They've done it as a 7th
genuinely
seed
don't know
before.
why. I don't know why.
They've done that to 7th seed before. I think this game, and it's crazy because both their games like early in the season were both low scoring. I think this game has the potential to be a shootout. Both
I
defenses.
think so too.
Both defenses coming into the playoffs really reeling. I think both teams could literally run the ball like crazy in this game. And one thing about the Packers, they went 0 for 5 in the red zone in the last game against Chicago. What?
No, I just looked at the never mind. Thunder resting all their players. I'm like, why are they getting smoked like this?
But yeah, Green Bay went 0 for 5 in the red zone last time.
Yeah, I don't see that happening again.
And then they also dropped the onside kick that was in Romeo Dobbs' hands.
Yeah, that happened too.
Like it was such a close game to the point where like obviously you see at least two of those things maybe swinging back in the Packers' favor. On the other side, I think Chicago is just too inconsistent on offense. Is that crazy to say? Like when they start games, I feel like they're always starting slow.
Or they have that great first drive and then they just stall out
Yeah.
for like the next 2.5 quarters.
We've seen that happen a couple times, and I think obviously the Packers defense has not been the same since they lost Micah Parsons. Since they lost Micah Parsons, they've been the 31st ranked defense in football, which is obviously bad. The only team below them was Dallas in that standpoint.
And
So
that says a lot.
yeah, it says a whole hell of a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think the Packers get this one done. I don't know, like I truly think either team can win because the Bears, like I said, anytime you could take the ball away and run the football, you could win a playoff game.
Does the takeaways come to a stop here for the Bears? Because I feel like every week they're forcing some type of turnover, bro.
I mean, they picked off Jordan Love one time in the first game against them. I actually don't think they forced a turnover in the second one. Now I'm thinking about it, but like I said, the Bears remind me so much of the early 2020 Cowboys teams. Like this really good offense that sometimes start off slow, the defense that is like lagging behind. But in the Cowboys case, they at least had a Micah Parsons. The Bears don't have that.
Yeah, they don't.
The Bears don't have that. They got Montez
Shout out.
Sweat,
I was gonna say shout out Montez Sweat.
but he ain't no damn Micah Parsons. Respectfully, um, I think
Hey, you wanna know something funny?
what?
The best edge rusher that's gonna be at that game is not on either team, cause Chase Young's about to be
Okay,
there.
yeah. I'm assuming Micah Parsons will be there somewhere.
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
I'm
He's just
assuming he will
healthy.
be. Yeah,
I'm saying healthy.
I'm assuming he will be in the
He'll be in
in
the
the
stadium.
stadium.
He'll be in the building.
Yeah, man, I think I'm rocking with the Packers in this one. I think LaFleur does it again as a 7 seed. The second time a 7 seed be the 2 seed, and it'll be both held by Matt LaFleur, man. I think.
I want to talk about the other context to this because I feel like there are some teams waiting to see if the Packers lose and maybe Matt LaFleur gets fired.
I don't think LaFleur gets fired.
You don't think if they lose, you don't think so, or does it depend on how they lose?
I think one, it depends on how they lose. Two, I'm looking at the candidates out there and like, who?
I just thought it was interesting because like I don't know. I feel like he would be like. I mean, I think this culture cycle is pretty good, but I think he
it's
would
solid.
I think it's good.
I would say, okay. When I say pretty good, I'm thinking of like, shit. I mean, we got Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen out there. You don't got those type of schemers out there.
Yeah.
You don't got those type of schemers out there. Obviously, you got.
Man,
I
it
feel like
depends on what you think of Clint Kubiak, though.
I think he's really good, but then who's the next best guy? Is it Cliff
Depends on what you
Kingsbury?
think about Kevin Stefanski.
He's solid, but I don't think these are like crazy schemers to the point where Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen.
What my man say? Albert Einstein.
Yeah, I don't think there's Albert Einstein in it. There's some pretty smart guys in here, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's those
How
type
you
of
view
guys.
Mike McDaniel? It depends, bro. It depends on how you view these guys.
Maybe it's also the fact that it's a bunch of guys who are used to be head coaches in this cycle. Like you see Mike McCarthy's name get a lot of buzz.
You talking about like coordinator wise? It's not no
Yeah.
Albert Einstein.
Like shout out Vance Joseph, but he ain't no Albert Einstein
Commanders
on
got
defense.
Commanders got that Albert Einstein. No,
All right.
I'm trolling.
Shout out shout out, even the Packers defense coordinator Jeff Hafley. I think he's solid. I don't think he's all that. He's getting head coaching buzz.
I just thought it was an interesting thing to bring up because I've been seeing a lot of people say like, oh, such and such might be waiting on the floor or seeing what happens with this game type of deal.
Man, he shouldn't get fired.
Interesting. I just want your opinion.
They were the 1 seed, and then everybody got hurt. Like literally, everybody got hurt.
Nah,
Kevin Kraft
literally,
got
they
hurt.
were looking like
Zach
the
Tom
force
got
of a
hurt.
team that we thought would be.
Yeah.
Thought they would be.
Yeah, and then everybody got hurt. And I think they can still win a playoff game. And even if they lose this game, I don't think they get blown out.
Yeah, same.
Sunday. Sunday. It's a nice little slate on Sunday.
This first game is interesting, off the strength that
These are both the teams we picked to be in the Super Bowl.
yeah, and it's not the same team.
Buffalo at Jacksonville. Sunday at 1 p.m. I will be glued to the TV for this one. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, I need to see this.
Terrell Bernard is out in this one.
I got work, but I get off at 2.
Maxwell Harrison is out in this one. Dalton Kincaid is on the injury report with a knee. Obviously, no Ed Oliver. He's also on IR. On the other side for Jacksonville, obviously no Travis Hunter. Doesn't look like anybody's actually on the injury report.
Say they look. It sounds like it to me that they're relatively healthy.
Well, there's no Greg Newsom. Well, Greg Newsom. It literally just says Greg Newsom's shoulder. He doesn't even have a game time designation yet. So, because we still gotta wait a day. But Buffalo, Jacksonville. I'll let you have the floor.
Man. This is a tough one, man.
This has to be the year for Josh Allen. You would think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll say I'm picking the Bills. I did say 2 podcasts ago that I think the Bills going to come out the AFC. I really just believe that the time is now, and if it doesn't happen now, that it's never going to happen. For this entire Bills organization. Sean McDermott. I think they lose.
They
this
said
game,
depending
Sean
on
McDermott's
what.
getting fired.
I don't think he's getting.
I think he's
don't
getting
know.
fired if they lose this.
I
game.
could see that one more than LaFleur.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, you can lose to Patrick Mahomes. That's okay, bro. But now you're losing to Trevor Lawrence. And don't get me wrong, the Jaguars have been great story this year. One of the best stories of the league. Liam Cohen is a potential coach of the year
Finalist.
guy. Yeah, finalist. So I don't know, man. I'm taking the Bills. I think they got the best engine in football. Josh Allen. We talk about how he's Superman. But the Jaguars, it's not going to be an easy game, though. It's not going to be an easy game. The Jaguars are super hot. if the Jaguars win, I won't be surprised. They are at home too, so. But I'm rolling with the Bills, man. That's my Super Bowl. That's my AFC representative. So
The
I gotta
line
ride.
for this one has moved 2.5 full points.
Yeah, it has.
Started off as Bills minus 1.5. Now the Jaguars are favored by 1 point, and I think that's where it should be. I was actually kind of confused when Jacksonville wasn't favored. I remember telling you that. And Jacksonville's my pick to make the Super Bowl out of the AFC, if y'all didn't know. Over the last 8 weeks, there's no team with a better point differential than them. That includes blowing out the Chargers. That includes beating the Broncos by 14. And although those might not be the best teams, those are two of the top 7 teams the AFC
I
has
was
to
gonna say
offer.
the Broncos are the 1 seed.
So when I look at it like that, they haven't lost since they played Houston earlier in the season, and they were up like 29-10 in that game. Like they just kind of folded in the fourth quarter.
yeah,
But
that game was drawn.
yeah, but you got Devin Lloyd back in this one. Not like he's missed like crazy time, but they lost every game they've lost. Devin Lloyd, well, not every game, but most of the games they lost, Devin Lloyd hasn't been a part of. I think he's been a one-man wrecking crew. I think he might be a All Pro this year.
Yeah,
That's a big thing. They can stop the run, and they can run the ball, even though they have not been efficient at running the ball lately. Have not been efficient at it, but I trust Liam Cohen is they can scheme against this Buffalo defense. I've seen a lot of teams run on Buffalo this year. I don't think Jacksonville can't run on Buffalo. I think Trevor Lawrence, hey, B. Jones gonna hate this, but I think he's been playing the best football of his career recently.
I mean that's obvious. I don't think he would hate it. Man. He don't really care for Trevor Lawrence, but I mean it's true. The Jaguars wouldn't be in this position if he wasn't playing his best football. So they would not be a 13-win team, bro.
They've won 13 games. And that's include they beat the Colts twice, obviously. They beat the Texans once. Obviously that was early in the season before Houston really got rolling, but they still beat Houston. They've beaten Denver. They've beaten the Chargers. Most of the tasks they beaten the Chiefs when we thought the Chiefs were still a good team. Most of the tasks you give them, they complete. They beat San Fran. I mean, they didn't beat the Rams. They actually lost to them pretty badly. But even the Seattle game was pretty close.
Yeah, no.
Even the Seattle game was pretty close for them. I think they're battle tested. They're a really good team, and I think they come out and win this game at home at the bank. I was about to make a Travis Etienne joke, but I don't even know if he's gonna be on this team next season. He's a free agent, but yeah, I think Jacksonville wins this game. I think their defense is a little bit better than people give them credit for. I am scared that they might just try to like pass the ball over the yard because they haven't been running the ball efficiently. And if that's the case, I think the game leans into the Bills' hands because the Bills quietly have one of the better secondaries in football. They just can't stop a run to save their life. They can't stop sentence with a period. Like, so I think Jacksonville wins the game. And I know Josh Allen's the better quarterback, and like we keep saying, this has to be a year for Josh Allen, this, that, and the third. But, like, I think this is honestly one of the worst teams he's had around him for a minute.
I can agree with that.
Like, Brandon Cooks might be this team's number one receiver.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially a wide receiver.
Like, Khalil Shakir, I love Khalil Shakir, but they only design screens for him. We only got to talk about Keon Coleman.
We don't.
Josh Palmer's not even playing in this one, so you got to look at Tyrell Shavers step up again, and it's just like I can see some like bone crushing drop by this receiving core, like just strictly
That wouldn't
losing
surprise
the
me,
game.
bro.
It should be a good one though. It should be a fun one. These are two very fun teams. I know I have the Jaguars making the Super Bowl. I genuinely just wouldn't be shocked if they lost this game, but I kind of feel like that's how the NFL has been this year.
Yeah, it's been like I said, bro. Because you asked me earlier, you were like, did I lock in my Super Bowl picks? And I'm like, yeah, because it's Russian roulette, bro. I can see 8 different matchups. I can't tell nobody they wrong. So that's where I'm at.
So what we seen? We're saying Buffalo can make a run, Jacksonville can make a run, the Rams can make a run. That's 3 teams right there.
Yeah,
Can San Fran and Philly make a run?
Philly for sure.
So that's a 4th team for sure. I didn't think San Fran could make a run either. I'm not gonna lie to you. San Fran and Philly. So I guess that kind of spoils who we're picking for this game.
Yeah.
San Fran and Philly. Philly are 6-point favorites at home at the crib. Excuse me. George Kittle's on the injury report, but expected to play. Ricky Pearsall is questionable for this one. Fred Warner's still on IR, but they said if they make a deep run, he could come back. Trent Williams is questionable for this one. On the other side, Jalen Carter's on the injury report with a hip, expected to play. Goddard is on the injury report with a knee.
Lane Johnson was back at practice this week.
Questionable for the game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're both rocking with Philly in this one. I think this has the potential to get ugly, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
I also think that it won't. Because Philly didn't play their starters last week.
Yeah.
And I feel like with
took a
Jalen
flat
Hurts,
spot.
you need reps. Like, he needs reps. And that's crazy. I'm saying this about what a quarterback and it's what he's been in the league for a minute. The 7th year,
Something like that.
6th year, something like that. But like he needs in-game reps. Like I don't know what to say. Like it's like he warms up like a car, and like if you stop passing the ball, then he stops like reading the field well and stuff like that. And sometimes even when you do pass the ball, he don't read the field well. We saw that in the Chargers game. But I think this is gonna be like I think the 49ers are gonna come out, probably go 3-and-out. Eagles score a touchdown on their opening drive, and then they do like the Eagles thing where this gets like a 7-3 ball game at halftime. And then eventually you get to the end of the game, you're like, oh, the Eagles won by 2 scores.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see it, man. Especially like
I
you
really thought
said,
this was gonna be the nightcap. I'm not gonna lie.
I did too. Hey, Drake May. But yeah, man. I talk about the Eagles, man. This is actually my pick to come out of the NFC. But 49ers, man. I think the way to beat the Eagles is to, obviously limit Saquon, but also get pressure on Jalen Hurts. And with this team not being the worst team, are they the worst team ever as far as sacking the quarterback?
I don't think they're the worst team ever,
but
but they're the worst team this season for sure. And that's
yeah, it's not even close either. They're the worst team at getting to the quarterback. The Eagles are getting healthier. Lane Johnson.
Nick
coming
Bosa's
back.
third on their team in sacks,
Yeah, that's crazy.
or
That's
fourth on their
absurd.
team in sacks.
Yeah, that's absurd.
He hasn't played since like week 4.
Yeah, that's absurd. So like, if you can't get pressure on Jalen Hurts, like he's gonna be able to. Like eventually, AJ Brown and
Kevin
Devontae
Burkhardt at
Smith is
Tom
gonna
Brady
be
on the
open.
call. You definitely gonna hear Kevin Burkhardt. Oh, he has all day back there,
And even if those
and he
guys,
finds Devontae Smith.
and even if those guys aren't getting open like early, he's just gonna run like, and he's gonna do with it, bro. It's gonna be an Eagles game, bro. And if you watch the Eagles all year, it's gonna be like that. But they're gonna pull away in this one. But yeah, I'm rocking with the Eagles, bro. It pains me to say this, but I can't deny this team, their pedigree, and Jalen Hurts is a playoff riser for what it's worth.
He's a Super Bowl riser. He's not a playoff riser. Which is a crazier thing to say. Because somebody in my comments was talking about Jalen Hurts in the play. Actually, keep talking while I find this comment.
Nah, I peeped that joint. But nah, man, I really think the Eagles can make a run, man. I don't see why. They have all the ingredients. Clearly they have playoff experience. They're the defending Super Bowl champs for a reason. Their defense has been amazing. Yeah, I gotta roll with the Eagles, man. 49ers though, hell of a season. A lot of people could have wrote you guys off. Tons of injuries, cluster injuries everywhere. Injuries to, some of your best players on the team. Even George Kittle missed some time this year. You guys had both quarterbacks in there. Brandon Ayuk didn't play this year. Ricky Purcell, is he playing this week?
He's questionable.
He's questionable. Okay, that's interesting. But shout out Kyle Shanahan, man. Coached his ass off this year. But I just gotta. I think it's the end of the road here, man. And you gotta go on the road to Philly. It's not a tough environment, not an easy environment.
I feel like they needed to win that game against Seattle last week. I can't
think
find
so,
the
too.
I can't find the Jalen Hurts comment, but it was talking about his stats regardless of Super Bowls, and like everything just dropped like dramatically like per game, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, no,
Like he's not even really just a player. He's literally just a Super Bowl riser.
That's funny.
Hey, bro, but if you could get there without doing much, and then you do much in the game, I don't know. Like I say with Jalen Hurts all the time, it's hard for me to rank him because obviously he rises in the Super Bowl. I have about 18 other games in the regular season and playoffs to go off of too. Like I understand the Super Bowl is the one that matters the most, and he rises to the occasion in those games. But like, just because like, let's say you're obviously you're my friend, but let's say I'm calling you to give me a ride every time, right? If I'm not about to sit up here and overly praise you for the one time you actually get me to my destination, but in the 18 other trips you stop in halfway, a third of the way, 3/4 of the way, even 4/5 of the way there. Like I'm not about to sit up here and praise you every time you do great when you don't normally do great. That's the way I look
That's
at
an
Jalen
interesting
Hurts.
analogy.
Yeah, I just came up with that off the dome. I don't even know if that made sense. But
That's an interesting analogy.
nightcap. Drake May and his Patriots take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, me and you think Drake May deserves the MVP. It's supposed to be raining this one. The Patriots are 3.5 point favorites at home. Obviously, the Chargers are without their tackles like they have been all season. Bud Dupree is questionable for this one. Omari Hampton is questionable for this one. I don't even know Lambert Smith got hurt, but he's out for this one. Um, on the other side, Kayshawn Booty is questionable for this one. That's Drake May's best deep threat, by the way.
Yeah.
Harold Landry is questionable for this one. Yeah. Drake May is 28 of 35 on passes that travel 30 yards or more in the year this season.
28 of 35?
Yes.
Damn. That's like 66%.
Yeah. That's like really damn good. But you got to think about it, though.
No, that's more
No,
than
no, no,
66%.
no. You got to think about it, though.
It's like, damn.
Since the schedule was so weak, that shit not even impressive.
Yeah, that's what they saying. That's what they saying. It's always the schedule. This is the schedule that, bro.
Like I said, it's only two other quarterbacks that have led the league in completion percentage and yards per attempt. Tom Brady with Randy Moss in 2007, and Kurt Warner with the greatest show on turf.
Kurt Warner, hey, I got it on today, man.
But now the schedule is the reason he did all this.
Nice, hey, they acting like he played the Jets all season.
Yeah, no.
They acting like he played the Jets. I mean, he did play the Jets and Dolphins this year. But the Browns, he played the Browns.
But the Browns defense is good.
Yeah,
I don't
Browns
like.
defense
Okay,
is good. I'm trying to think of another team that was bad. The Cardinals. They played the Cardinals.
Nah, they ain't play the Cardinals.
They
did play the Titans, though.
They played the Raiders.
They played them week 1.
Okay, yeah, damn.
They have played a lot of bad teams.
They have,
but no. Here's my thing with them. Their strength of victory is 37% this year. The Broncos' strength of victory is 37.8%. So it's like, I don't understand how you
Where's
guys.
the argument there?
Like, I don't understand how you guys have so much respect for the Broncos and not respect the Patriots as a team as well. That's my biggest concern. That's my biggest concern for the Patriots and Broncos heading into the playoffs is the fact that they haven't played nobody.
Yeah, they
for
haven't
real.
been battle tested.
And I guess the Broncos are more so battle tested, but like the Patriots blow out bad teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say Broncos are battle tested in a sense of their games are close, but like it's like why are their games close? You know what I'm saying?
27-26 against the Commanders, 33-32 against the Giants.
That Jets game.
The Jets game, you only beat them by 3 points. You only beat the Raiders by 3 points or 7 points on a Thursday night. I think they beat them by 3 points and they beat them by 7 points. They beat them.
Yeah.
They had 2 1-possession games against them. You have a 1-possession game against the Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes. I just don't understand.
Can't wait to talk about the Broncos next week, bro. I need Jalen here too.
He needs to be here, bro. I don't care what strings you had to pull. He's going to be here next week to talk about his Broncos. He hasn't been here in a minute either.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Because it's only been negative Broncos talk on this pod for a second.
We're catching Jalen up on the episode appearances, man. I'm rocking him.
Like, I'm rocking with the Patriots in this one. I just don't like the Chargers supporting cast for Justin Herbert. And although I think Justin Herbert is a very valuable player, I think he's currently right now, if you ask me, I think he's better than Drake May. I will say that. I don't think Drake May is that far behind him, bro. I genuinely don't think, like, you know how I rank quarterbacks. It's more of 2 things. Who would I rather have on my team for a 1-game sample size? For 1 game, all the marbles on the line, who would I rather have on my team? That's step 1. Your stats do play a part in it, but it plays the least amount of part in it.
Yeah.
I also look at traits. When you talk about accuracy, Drake May and Herbert are on the same level. When you talk about arm strength, Drake May and Herbert are on the same level. I think Drake May is a better rusher. I think Herbert is tougher. Like, it's literally give and take. I think you can rank either or about each other, and I'm not going to be like, oh, no, you should have Herbert higher. But right now, if you ask me, I think Herbert's the better player.
Same, I agree.
But Drake May is one hell of a football player, bro. And I think he gets it done this week against the Chargers. Now, next week, if the Pigs go how I think they're going to go, they're probably playing Jacksonville next week. And I think we're having a totally different conversation when they play Jacksonville. But like I said, hey, don't let Drake May go on a run, bro. I'm going to be pushing some nasty propaganda on this podcast.
We know.
Don't let him go on a run.
We know.
Don't let him go on a run.
Yeah, for me, it's tough, man. So I know you say you didn't really care for the Chargers' weapons. I actually like their weapons. I just don't like that damn offensive line. It's currently constructed. because if we're comparing weapons, I actually give the slight edge to the Chargers. Um, but it's like when their weapons are on, Lad McConkey has not been that good this year.
I also look on the back end, and one of their weapons are going to be taken out by Gonzalez.
That's true too by Gonzo. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Um, I'm gonna take the Patriots to win in a close game. I think the 3.5 point spread is very very.
I also wouldn't be shocked if the
Just-
Chargers win this game. And I feel like I
wouldn't
keep
even-
saying that,
Yeah, no,
but
I
like,
wouldn't even.
I wouldn't be crazy shocked if the Chargers win the game. I just don't think they will.
Yeah, no, I know they're traveling east, but I know Jim Harbaugh. He's gonna have these guys ready to play. They probably been on the East Coast for a minute.
A night
too.
game.
So, yeah, Jim Harbaugh's gonna have these guys ready to play.
Drake May really
It's gonna
got
be-
pulled like this. He got a
guess so.
2-7 matchup on Sunday Night Football
I guess
in a
so.
wild card.
I guess so. But I'm gonna take the Patriots, but it's crazy because I kind of want to take the Chargers, bro. I really do, but
You gonna take both 7 seeds to advance?
nah, I can't do that. I'm gonna take the Patriots.
So then, one more game left. Monday Night Football. The Steelers are running into this one on a 23-game Monday Night Football winning streak.
That's what I'm saying.
Houston is 3-point favorites on the road. Are you looking at the spread right now and everything?
3.
I was about to ask you to guess the over/under, but I don't think you were looking at it.
Yeah, it's about what I expected.
Okay. Danico Autry is questionable for this one. Trent Brown is questionable for this one as well. Titus Howard is questionable for this one. Kamari Lassiter is questionable for this one as well. I be forgetting Joe Mixon is on this team.
Joe Mixon.
Like, he's on this roster for sure. On the other side, Steelers are relatively healthy, man.
Yeah.
Steelers are relatively healthy. Jonnu Smith is questionable. Can the Steelers do enough on offense to win this game? Because, in my opinion, you kind of know what you're going to get from Texans. They're about to score about, 19 or 20 points in this game. They're going to play some good defense. Can the Steelers do enough on offense? Steelers also haven't won a playoff game in the last decade.
This is tough.
Does T.J. Watt get his first playoff win?
I don't know, bruh. This game is gonna be nasty. Let me start there. This will be a very nasty.
It's
game.
going to be a close game.
It's gonna be like a 13-10 win for whoever wins. Fuck. Ah man, it's like I don't know how the Steelers score on the Texans, bruh.
I don't even know how they scored on the Ravens. Like, it just everything just kind of happens. Like, that's the Steelers' offense. Stuff just happens. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Kenneth Gainwell's going to have about 12 catches in this one because Will Anderson and Dale Hunter's going to get off the edge. I'm going to rock with the Texans. I'm 100% rocking with the Texans. I think their defense is just too good for them to lose in the first round of the playoffs to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, yeah, I can't. This is one of those games. It's like I could see the Steelers winning, but it's just like I can't deny
Something got to give.
something has to give, bro.
Either 23-game home win streak or 10-year playoff drought.
I'm gonna take the Texans, bro. Take the Texans.
So if our picks went the way we expect, you would have Buffalo traveling to Mile High next week. I guess the Bills are your Super Bowl pick, so you would pick them to win that game.
Yeah.
Jalen not gonna like that one.
I mean, bro? I don't even, bro. You rank Bo Nix as your 13th best quarterback in the playoffs, and Josh Allen is your first. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, it's Superman, bro. Bro, the Broncos have not impressed me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That game against the Chargers was alarming.
I think
That might have been the most alarming game, and the Broncos have had
and they had
at
extra
least
rest.
10. The Broncos have had at least 10 alarming games this year, and that one to me might have been the most alarming. And I'm not trying to have recency bias, but it's like the Chargers they had backups out there.
Mm-hmm.
They had backups, and they had Trae Lance starting, and the Broncos could not put up an offensive touchdown. I understand why Will Lutz was Jalen's unsung hero. God damn it, because if they had fucking Zane Gonzalez, bro, this team would have about 10 wins. And I'm being so serious.
Hey, bro.
Or they would have multiple kickers out there this year.
I don't know, man. If everything goes away, I think the Texans are going to be traveling to Mile High. Now, that game might end 7-2.
I was gonna say that would be nasty ball.
That game might end 6-4. Two
6-4 is crazy.
safeties. I said a baseball score out there,
That's
but
crazy.
like you said, the Broncos have had so many alarming games this year. I can truly see them winning a playoff game. Obviously, they got the mile high stuff. Especially if the Chargers,
which is a real advantage.
if the Chargers Steelers come in there, I could definitely see them winning the playoff game.
Yeah.
I even think they could beat Buffalo. Just because I don't think Buffalo's supporting cast is that good. I just cannot see this team going to the Super Bowl, bro. I don't know what it is, and they could very well go to the Super Bowl because
I think it's just gonna be all the one possession games finally catch up to them.
it was 13-2.
If it don't catch up to them this playoff run, it will.
Wait, they're 13-2 in one possession games, or 13-1, or 12-2.
I thought it was 11-3, or 12 and.
Well, they only have 3 losses on the season, and one of them was by
12 and
multiple
2?
possessions.
See if it's 12-2 or 13-1 then.
It's 12-2 because
12-2?
they'd have 2 losses by 1 score. So 14 of their 17 games were one possession games this year.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Nah, that's crazy, bro.
Hey man, I don't know. This Broncos team sucks. All right, that's crazy. That was crazy. Let me stop. That was great. They're not good though. Like I said, we always talk about the Patriots schedule when we talk about them. They have a 37.8%. They have a 0.8 percentage points better strength of victory than the Patriots.
Yeah.
We always talk about how many teams. Well, the worst part is the Broncos might be more teams over 500, but let me count real quick. Well, obviously they'd be more teams over 500 than New England. New England only beat 1. But let me check out the Broncos real quick. They have 1, 2, 3. They only have 4 wins against teams over 500. They're 4-2 in those games. That includes beating the Chargers with Trae Lance in. That includes beating the Texans with Davis Mills in. That includes beating the Packers with Micah Parsons and Zach Tom and everybody went out in the third quarter when the Packers were controlling the game. And the other game was Philly. You could have the Philly one. I really don't care. But you was also down.
You could have a Philly game for sure.
You could have the Philly
one. I'm
one.
not going to discredit them about that at all.
I mean, it was also down 17-3 in the fourth quarter and had some magic to come back and win that one too. So it's like, I don't know. I feel more safe about the other one seed in the other conference, Seattle. Obviously, if things play out like how both of we expect, they will have the Packers traveling there. I think they make quick work of the Packers. And I think Seattle could mess around and make the Super Bowl. Like, I genuinely feel that way about Seattle.
Yeah, nah, I could see it.
I could see them making the Super Bowl. Well, yeah. We got one more thing to talk about, though. Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
My boy was fired today. Or a few days ago.
Yesterday.
I know Nico Elite Take said it. I know I said it. I truly think John Harbaugh's their guy.
Yeah, I seen it's a lot of connecting of the dots in terms of, like, what, front office?
Yeah. So, how would you feel about John Harbaugh in Miami?
If I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm not pleased unless the coordinator's got to be right. That's the only way I could be pleased.
I think they would keep their defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver. That's a former Ravens guy anyway.
Okay.
So, it would just be offensive coordinator now.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator, that would be really key. I just don't know if I'm feeling John Harbaugh as a coach. I just feel like he's kind of one of those guys that kind of ran his course type of thing. But I mean, shit, maybe he could prove me wrong, damn it.
And does this mean Tua gets another shot? Because I really feel like Mike McDaniel was really out on Tua.
No, he was.
And now he's gone.
When you put in Quentin Ewers, you're definitely out on that guy.
And now he's gone.
Yeah.
So does Tua get another shot?
Probably.
We talking about that man being in Arizona. We talking about he getting another shot.
Probably.
You saw Mike McDaniel got an interview with the Titans?
I did see that.
Would you like that fit for him?
I would love that for Cam Ward. Because I think, Mike McDaniel will help maximize Cam Ward. And, of course, I believe they would get more weapons and continue to build around him. So, yeah, I would like that.
All right. I mean, I think I would like it, too. like you said, I think the plan for the Titans this offseason when we had the little well, not a 3 word game, but what their New Year's resolution should be is build around Cam
Build
Ward.
around Cam.
Build around
Ward,
Cam.
yeah.
Do everything you can to build around Cam. And I think he's special. I think he showed that even with his situation being as horrible as it was, even with his number one receiver being Alec Io Manor, his number two being Chimere DK. Shout out Chimere DK though. Mike knows why I'm saying that, but he's done enough. Like he needs to get an offensive guy. I don't even think Mike McCarthy would be that bad for them. I know Mike
Yeah,
McCarthy
I
has a
don't
lot
think
of.
he'd be bad for them.
I think Mike McCarthy has a lot of organizational ties to the Titans anyway. He's known their GM Mike Borgonzi for a while. I think he worked with him in Green Bay. So like, just get one of the mics, man. Get one of the mics in there. Even Cliff Kingsbury has an interview with them. Get some offensive name in there, bro.
Yeah.
Get some offensive guy in there. I know it didn't work with Brian Callahan, but god damn it, you shouldn't hire it off of Zach Taylor's staff.
That's real. That's actually real. I wouldn't have advised that either.
You shouldn't have hired off of Zach Taylor's staff. But you want to talk about the Commanders' offensive coordinator?
Yeah, we got to. Man.
Okay. David Blau was just named the Commanders' offensive coordinator. Mike, as our Commanders fan, what you think about it?
I like it. I give Dan Quinn credit because I would say his staff has been good besides Joe Witt. But I'm talking about like his Atlanta staff.
Mm-hmm.
You had all of the guys.
Shoot,
that,
you had everybody was over there.
Yeah, they had
They had Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan,
Matt LaFleur, Raheem Morris. Was it Jeff Albrecht?
Mm-hmm.
It's a gangster staff, bro. I think this is the foresight of not wanting to have promoting the guy early because I mean he was getting looks at offensive coordinator from the Lions. And his name was kind of hot.
You know what the
after
crazy
the
part
Commanders'
is?
success last year.
You just said that staff. It's somebody walking around with that gangster staff right now. It's probably gonna be the team that loses the Super Bowl, loses all those coaches.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? Like somebody's walking around with that staff right now.
Yeah, that's true.
But keep going.
Yeah, man, I like it. It just seems like they're trying to get ahead of the curve. I'm sure Jaden Daniels has some type of influence or some type of say-so in this. And, maybe David Blau can, trickle some of his influence because he has worked with a lot of guys. Cliff Kingsbury, Kevin O'Connell,
KLC.
And also with Ben Johnson as well. And he was pretty much a backup for a short career. So those guys are the sponges.
I swear that man was just on the practice squad like 2 years ago. Bro.
He was. Those are the guys, maybe 3, but those are the guys that soak up all the knowledge, from taking the back seat and just gaining knowledge. So I'm interested to see what his scheme looks like because we don't know. He's never called plays, so that would be the only thing that I have some type of gripe or concern. But I would also say you got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. But I like it, man.
Who knows? He eventually may be able to take the mantle from Dan Quinn.
Maybe, possibly. I think that's not out of the realm if things go well.
All right. You wasn't messing with London Wells?
Nah, Rooney Rule type of deal.
You wasn't messing with London Wells? Man?
Nah, I wasn't. I never knew who that dude was. I didn't know, bruh. They said they interviewed the Chiefs D-line coach for defensive coordinator.
I thought you were about to say for offensive coordinator.
For defensive coordinator.
I was about to say.
And Chris Jones was like, "Oh shit" or something like that. So might be. Hey,
You remember when Matt Patricia was calling plays for the Eagles like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that just came to my mind.
That's so random because bro was a defensive coordinator on the Patriots.
He was calling plays.
And then bro was just at Ohio State.
I mean, he's still at Ohio State now.
Yeah,
DC.
like it's so random, bro. And he was a head coach for the Lions. Hey, bro.
Hey, I like the way the Cowboys' defensive coaching search is going because 2 years ago we was interviewing Rex Ryan.
Who'd y'all interview?
We've interviewed Jim Leonard, the Broncos' assistant defensive guy.
Jim Leonard. He used to play in the NFL. Is he white?
Yeah.
Yo, he used to be a safety. Dude, he was a white safety for the Jets.
Yeah. That's their.
I stamped that.
I think that's their passing game coordinator. We're gonna interview. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Ephraim from the Browns, their safety coach. We're also gonna interview. We have interviewed the Vikings defensive back coach. I'm still rumored that we want to interview Brian Flores, but the only interview he's taken is the Ravens head coaching job interview. So we'll see how that goes. But it's supposed to be more names added to the list. It's supposed to just be a small pool. But like normally the Cowboys, the last 4 defensive coordinators they had have been former head coaches. You think about Matt Eberflus, Dan Quinn, Mike Zimmer, Mike Nolan. Even Ron
Mike, no.
Marinelli was a former head coach. The last 5 defensive coordinators have been former head coaches. I kind of like the fact that we're going younger. I think the way Jerry Jones be talking. Like I said, knock on wood, but like he sounds like fed up and like his time. Like he want to win one before he goes, bruh.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he gotta want to win one.
and I
If
feel
he
like
said he
now
never been disappointed before.
he did say he's never been disappointed in his life before. I don't know how you've lived 82 years or however old Jerry Jones is, and you haven't been disappointed in your life. That was a crazy quote. That was a great shit. I was disappointed today.
Hey yo,
Like I like this man say he's been disappointed in his life. I like, bro. You telling me we lose that game to San Fran in a wild card round where the ref runs it the neck, and this man was just like, oh, I'm not disappointed. Like I can point to about 15 scenarios even this season where he should have been disappointed. You talking about I've never been disappointed in my life before. Like that actually irritated me. Shout out Jerry. He just be talking sometimes. Like sometimes he just be talking. Other times he don't. He said we're gonna be. He ain't even say we're gonna be players in free agency. He said the way Dak's playing, it should cause us to open up our books a little bit. So whatever that means too. But yeah, I like the way the Cowboys' defensive coaching search is going. Hopefully, at least by some point in the playoffs, we're gonna talk about the Cowboys' new defensive coordinator. I'm honestly hoping it's Jim Leonard.
oh, that's what I'm supposed to be looking up, bro. I swear that dude was a safety for the Jets.
He might have been. He might have been. I can't tell you.
Like Rex Ryan Jets.
I literally can't tell you nothing about him besides he was with the Broncos. He helps with the game plans and stuff. And the Broncos defense is pretty good, so. Was he?
Yeah, that dude played for the Jets. Okay. Yeah, I remember this dude. Fuck with bro. I love when it's players that I know.
I'm about to say, that's going to be crazy because, like, in 10 years, I'm going to be like, oh, shit, fucking, I don't know, somebody random. Quentin Lake? He the DC for the Giants now?
All right, bro.
Like it's going to be some random cats like that, bro. Like, it's going to happen. Like, that's how I felt when I saw David Blau was in y'all head coach. I mean, y'all offensive coordinator search. Like, yeah. I'm like, David Blau, like the one who go from practice squad to practice squad? Like, he offensive coordinator now? But, like, that's going to happen, bro.
No, it's definitely going to happen.
With players in the league right now. Like, Isaiah Simmons is the safety coach for somebody.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
Like, the draft bust Isaiah Simmons?
Chill out.
Shout out Isaiah Simmons, man. As Jalen would call him, is.
All right, bro.
I think it's time to get out of here.
Yeah, nah, on that note.
Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Till next time. Peace.